Man, we got this tiger right here that's going around eating everybody. So we just gonna go ahead and get into it.
Complete chaos out there. We've got officers going in
Heavily armed.
Now it's all snowballed into hell.
Then we arrived in the area of where
that boy rolling around the ground with an AR-15.
Deceased. There was a white
tiger chewing on this man. Oh my gosh, boy.
Yeah, I think I just seen one. It's like a jaguar or a wolf or something.
Imagine in your last moments, all you see is a big tiger roaming towards you.
Zanesville, Ohio, experienced a nightmare, all because of one man.
Boy, I pissed, boy.
As the owner of more than
Pee in my
50
clothes,
exotic
boy.
animals, he earned quite a reputation in town, especially when he decided to set them free.
I had made contact.
So this
with the
man
sheriff
think he
everything
Coyote
had been
Peterson.
turned loose,
You know what I'm saying?
There's bears, there's tigers, there's lions.
Keeping all these animals with
Why
him.
did Terry unleash his animals on the town? Was it an act of spite? Which one of his exotic animals was never found by the police? And how many people were eaten alive?
Wow, people eating alive. The last thing they see is something running toward them.
That's
all you see, bro.
To the left and to the right.
In your last moments, boy.
Kind of a
That's
running
sad.
forward, getting stronger.
They just said it's a bear.
This is
They
Zanesville,
see
Ohio.
a bear.
A quaint town known for its unique Y-shaped bridge and being the pottery capital of the world. It's the type of place where everyone knows everyone, and most residents knew about Terry and his.
Of course, so everybody knew this man Terry that's keeping
Terry
all
was
these
different.
animals.
Terry always kind of pushed the envelope, but Terry was Terry.
Terry was born and raised just east of Zanesville. In his youth, he was passionate about flying and acquired his pilot's license as soon as he was of age. With an exciting career ahead of him, his life was turned upside down when he was drafted into the Vietnam War.
So he got drafted?
In the years following his
Well, how old he was?
Trauma continued to haunt him. After returning home,
Because if I'm
Terry met
mistaken,
his wife Marion.
the draft happened in
Teacher
World
was
War
also
II.
a decorated prize-winning horse rider and animal lover. He opened a motorcycle shop and got a license to sell guns, all while gaining a reputation for doing things a little differently than everyone else.
Okay.
One day, for Marion's birthday, Terry bought a baby tiger cub at an exotic animal auction. A gift that would quickly turn into his new obsession.
So
From
then he
guns to
started,
cars
from now he started
and
liking animals.
Terry was a hoarder, feeling he could never have enough.
Hey, that white wolf kind of raw though, I ain't gonna lie.
$1,000 into their amateur zoo, housing lions, tigers, bears, wolves, and even monkeys.
Boy, you crazy, boy.
To feed their hungry
I don't like
residents,
animals like
Terry
that,
was
boy.
known for collecting roadkill, taking dead livestock from neighbors, and buying leftover chicken parts unfit for eating. Soon, he turned his collection into a business, acting as an animal handler for Animal Planet's show Wild Kingdom in 2008.
Okay.
Is Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
So he actually used his
He
animals
also
for something
provided a
good.
lion cub for a photo shoot with supermodel Heidi Klum. But later that year, his side hustle, selling guns, began to raise suspicion. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the ATF, raided his home, taking away 133 guns and dozens of rounds of ammunition.
But don't he got a license
Worse,
though?
his marriage was on the rocks. Terry accused Marion of
I don't know
ratting
what
him out to the
ATF got
authorities
going on.
and was known to be verbally abusive toward her. After 40 years of marriage, Marion decided to separate. Ultimately, he pleaded guilty to possession of unregistered firearms and
So he
served
had
10 months in
unregistered
prison.
firearms.
And despite his efforts to patch things up with Marion, she had no sympathy for him.
I think Terry's downfall is that when he returned from prison, Marion was not at the farm waiting for him.
Drowning in debt and suspicious his wife had cheated on him.
Dang, so
during
yeah,
his
he
time
was
in
going
prison,
through it.
Terry did something no one could have prepared for.
What he did?
On October 18th, 2011,
October 18th.
Terry's neighbor Sam Kopchak noticed something was off while leading his horse, Red, to pasture.
I saw the horses that were there. Was probably about 60 horses I estimate that they had. They were going around a circle. And I said, well, they're not supposed to do that. Something's going on, you know.
Sam decided to take a
Yeah, I never
closer
seen no
look,
horses going
headed
on in a
over
circle.
to the edge of Terry's paddock. He saw a dark shape emerge in the middle of the circling horses, a large black bear. Sam initially brushed this off as a rare sighting of an endangered animal in Ohio and did his best to calm down Red. But what he saw next shook him to the core.
I just felt like something was looking at me, and I kind of turned to the left.
Gotta be God.
And big male African lion, he came down. This is about the spot he was setting. He just sat down.
All
right
you
there.
see
Sam
is the
knew
king
it
of the
wasn't
jungle walking
wise
up
to run
on you.
from a lion, so he slowly but briskly walked away. He only looked back once, about a third of the way from his barn, To see the lion staring ominously at him behind a fence it could easily vault over.
Boy.
Sam first
Imagine how
thought he needed
scared.
to warn his elderly mother. She lived with him and was home all alone, an easy target for a hungry predator. He brought Red into the barn, locked the doors, and phoned his mom in a frenzy. Alarmed by the news, she quickly called the Thompson residence, but all she got was the answering machine. That's when she knew she had to call 911.
45 and 54, 45 and 54, behind Kopechek Road. Complaint advised there is a bear and a lion.
A bear and a lion, bro? That's ridiculous.
I was kind of skeptical right at first. I just thought maybe somebody had seen a big dog.
Come on,
or
bro. You can't
something.
mistake a dog for a
Jonathan Merritt,
lion
who
or a
was
bear,
serving
bro.
a court summons
Come on
just
now.
a couple miles outside of town, received the strange call and acted immediately. He drove up and knocked on Mrs. Kopechek's door. A large gray wolf ran along the road behind him as he turned around. Mary hopped into his patrol
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
car and
One on
followed the
one,
wolf.
I'm
As he approached a
100%
nearby
killing the
house,
wolf. I'm
he
not
got
gonna lie
out,
to you.
grabbed his rifle from the trunk.
One man,
and
me
approached
versus
it
one
slowly.
wolf. I'm winning that,
He
boy.
radioed headquarters and was told to put the wolf down. With a well-aimed shot, the threat was eliminated. But just as he went to inspect the wolf's body, he got another alarming call. His colleagues were
Another ad, bro. Hey, run the views up, man. We won't have no ad. Well, we might have ads.
face
Pussy.
to face with a lion near the Thompson residence, armed with standard-issued pistols. Not exactly the kind of firepower needed to deal with a full-grown lion. Meanwhile, Sergeant Steve
Y'all need
Blake
a
rushed to the
10 mil
scene
or
and
AR
looked at the Thompson
15 or
property.
something.
He and John Moore, Terry's animal caretaker, approached the Thompson house. They found cages that were cut, some left open, and two that contained a couple of monkeys and a dog. They came across a gruesome scene as they cautiously walked to the barn. A large white tiger was eating something. Upon closer inspection, it was a body that was barely recognizable.
Wow.
As Deputy Mary drove up the hill toward the Thompson property, he saw another deputy
So the
running
white
in
tiger
fear.
just eating somebody.
Mary reached for his rifle, but it snagged on the cruiser's computer stand. Instead, he grabbed his Glock. As soon as he turned around, a 350-pound black bear charged him. Usually, black bears will do a bluff charge to test your dominance. Your best bet to survive is to stand your ground and look tall. But most of all, don't run. Just a few feet away from him, Mary shot the bear. Thankfully, it was in the head. Otherwise, his Glock
Good aim, boy. That boy aimed that thing, no?
Shaken by the ordeal, he went to grab the weapon from his patrol car. And it's a good thing he did. Just moments later, a large African lioness crawled under Terry's fence and ran down the road toward another neighbor's home.
So he
Terry
just let all the
took a
animals
shot.
loose one day, huh?
Another one down. But how many were left to go? A number of emergency
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this would be
Zoo's
fun to
capture
do right
and
here, bro. I'm
recovery
not
team
gonna lie. I
arrived
feel like this is
at
something I
Thompson
see in a
property,
video game.
preparing for the worst possible scenario.
On the way.
Like,
to
oh yeah,
the
it's
scene,
that line
I
over
made
there.
it clear
He
to
coming.
the
Even
guy
though in
on
real
the
life
scene
it's probably is scary that a bear charging at you, but
animals,
I'm just saying though, like
outside
that
the
probably look
pasture
fun. You
field
gotta go hunt
or
for the
looking
animals.
like
You
they
know
were
what I'm
going down
saying?
the fence.
You gotta go
They
kill
would be
them.
put
You feel
down.
me? Like that's
We were
wrong.
first approached by, I believe it was two tigers come out of a barn towards us. And as they rushed the truck, we were forced to dispatch them.
But what if you encountered a tiger and didn't have a gun? Stay calm and slowly back away. Don't make eye contact, as this could be seen as threatening to the tiger. The same advice goes for most wild cats. Avoid turning and running. It will only make you vulnerable to an attack from behind. If the tiger continues to approach you, make yourself appear big. Make loud noises too. If it attacks, fight like hell.
Bruh.
It's your best chance at survival.
I'm 100% killing
Here on how to
a
survive,
wolf
we
one on
cover
one.
all
I'm not gonna
kinds of
lie.
survival scenarios. So make sure to hit that
Now, a
like
tiger?
button and subscribe for more
Yeah,
incredible
you
survival
probably gonna
stories.
die. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Still putting together the pieces of what happened, the officers approached a mangled body.
Yeah.
Unknown to them, dozens of wild predators were still loose, waiting for the opportunity to pounce.
Then we arrived in the area
So
where
where's
the
Terry? I
body
wonder is
was,
Terry the body?
and it was quite apparent whoever it was deceased. There was a white tiger chewing on him.
The officers
Wow.
figured at the time that Terry's animals must have gotten loose and killed him. They started shutting the doors.
Yep,
to
so that
contain
was
the
Terry.
animals still in their cages. It was then that they realized this large escape was no accident.
I look over, and maybe 3 feet away from where the door is, there's a large hole that's cut in the chain link fence. As soon as I saw that, I remember the blue bolt lock cutters that are laying beside Terry Thompson.
An investigation was needed to determine what happened. Still, the priority now was ensuring Zanesville citizens' safety. Officers, armed with both tranquilizers and guns, were now on a mission.
I'm on 23 and there's a lion in
A lion, boy. Imagine seeing that in the road, boy. Bro, this looks so fun. Like imagine just having an AR-15 and just going around, right? And you like hunt for animals.
I think I just seen one. Looks like a
You know what I'm saying? I like to hunt, you know what I'm saying? So this is probably why that's funny.
Now, what can law enforcement do? You've got an immediate logistical problem in front of you, which is that you've got a lot of very dangerous animals in an environment that they're not familiar with and they're uncontained. So you have to do something. Your primary purpose here is to preserve human life.
Most definitely.
You
Got to.
dangerous animals out.
Got to preserve human
As
life.
they began to lose sunlight, authorities grew more concerned about wild animals being loose at
Yep.
night, leaving unsuspecting victims in even more danger. After weighing over what to do next, the city's sheriff made the call, which they felt was necessary to protect everyone.
There was no other option except to dispatch the animals.
I mean, what y'all want to do? Y'all want to catch them and put them in a cage and throw them in the zoo or something?
The majority of the animals on Thompson's property were shot, but one
So
cougar
Terry
escaped
basically
and
committed
died
suicide
after
without
being hit by a
committing
car.
suicide.
With animal corpses littered everywhere,
That's what I
officers started to
heard.
sort out the bodies by species to get a count. In total,
Bro, if I get another ad, bro.
49 exotic animals were killed. This included
49?
18 Bengal tigers, 17 lions, 6 black bears, a pair of grizzlies, 3 mountain lions, 2 wolves, and a baboon.
Bro, that's
6
a lot
other
of animals
were
to
captured
die.
alive. 3 leopards, a grizzly bear, and 2 monkeys. But to this day, 1 has gone unaccounted for. A macaque was never located. Although
Aw, leave that
reports
little
feared
monkey
it could
alone.
be
He ain't finna
carrying
do
a
nothing.
disease like hepatitis B, authorities determined it was likely eaten by one of the other escapees.
Yeah, probably.
While the chaos was over, the investigation was only just beginning.
See all of these animals piled up after.
Why do you want to
they
get eaten by a
were
white
killed,
tiger, bro? Like,
because
what?
they were running free, running loose, in a dangerous situation. This is wrong. This is way wrong.
Once it was safe to do so, a forensics team inspected the crime scene, starting with Terry's body. It was then officially determined that on October 18th, 2011, Terry Thompson opened all of his animal cages, allowing them to run wild and wreak havoc on the citizens of Zanesville. But what was even more shocking was how he died.
There was a head wound, a head gunshot wound. His hands were filled with gunpowder residue. It leads us to believe that this is a suicide.
There were also reports raw chicken was scattered around Terry's body, with some believing he wanted the animals to feast on his remains. An autopsy revealed that Terry was suffering from a severe cardiovascular disease. It's unclear how much time he had or if he
So
knew
he
of
actually
his
shot
condition.
himself and then let the
A few
animals
weeks
eat
out
him.
of prison, his finances in tatters, and his relationship with Marianne over, Terry snapped. Others believed his hoarding got the best of him, making him feel helpless on top of everything else.
He couldn't stop acquiring more. I think he just worked himself into a hole. But he just couldn't bring himself to get rid of it.
When Marianne came to the property, she was distraught, to say the least. After agreeing to relocate the 6 surviving animals to a zoo, she insisted they be buried on their property when they passed.
Bro, didn't she divorce him, bro?
Shooting animals with live rounds, you.
Duh, what you want him to
Backlash
do?
from citizens and the world was swift.
Go
Many
ahead,
thought
walk
the
up
deaths
to him
of
and
the
try to pet
animals,
it. Then let's see
including
what's going to
18
happen.
endangered Bengal tigers were unnecessary.
I'm sorry to say that what the sheriff did had to be done, or else we would have had carnage out here this morning.
Exactly.
Now you could say, oh, they could have, I don't know, people said at the time, oh, they should have tranquilized them and relocated them. Well, where are these magic tranquilizers coming from? Some local vet happens to be fully kitted up to tranquilize 50 odd
Exactly, bro. Like, what?
What held aggressive animals with the experience? Massively unlikely.
Massively unlikely.
These animals are spreading out further and further. So, I mean, it's regrettable, but I personally...
Man, please, I don't think y'all
law
should
enforcement
regret
did
anything.
Exactly the right thing, and they probably should have...
Y'all did the right thing.
With only 1 death, due to a self-inflicted wound, the amount of damage done to the public was kept to a minimum.
About a mile down the road that evening, there was a tournament soccer game going on. there could have been a lot of tragedy.
Yeah, but y'all want to sit there. You gotta and wait for the vets to get ready. Wait for them to get their tranquilizer drugs ready.
Laws in Ohio
and then go tranquilize the animal. Then you gotta wait a minute for the tranquilizer to work. All that time, man, he could have been eating them little kids, man, please.
Including the government or their neighbors. The United States Department of Agriculture would need to be informed only if you crossed state lines with them or put them on display for others to see. But following this incident, the idea of exotic animal ownership took the international spotlight, and lawmakers scrambled to tighten restrictions. It took 3 years, but as of January 1st, 2014, Ohio's exotic animal laws were made official, banning dozens of animals from being privately owned.
We have vipers here.
Yeah, that's what they should have did.
You have lions, tigers, everything. And you would never think it is here in America, but it is here and it is rampant and is running wild.
The award-winning 2010 documentary, The Elephant in the Living Room, highlighted the sad state of exotic animal ownership across the U.S. There are just under 4,000 tigers in the wild, substantially fewer than the estimated 5,000 captive tigers in the U.S. alone. Although some believe wild animals belong in their natural habitat, others, like Joe Exotic, aka the
Animals
Tiger
belong
King,
in their natural
feel
habitat.
they're doing what's best for them.
The only safe place for an animal in the United States is in a cage, in a zoo, or somebody's yard that can properly care for them.
Joe is currently serving 22 years in prison for killing tigers and hiring hitmen. He's since changed his view on animal captivity, saying no animals belong in a cage. Maybe living behind bars, like his tigers before him, is responsible for his shift in perspective. Unfortunately, most exotic animal owners don't have the funds or proper infrastructure to care for these animals, even if they mean well. As with Zanesville, they pose a risk to the owners and the general public.
As far as I'm concerned, I can't see that there's ever any need for a private individual to be keeping a lion or a tiger.
Yeah, that ain't really, that don't really make no sense.
It's really possible in most cases for a private individual to satisfactorily keep an animal.
They do not need to be messing with no tigers or nothing.
What you require.
Nothing more than a wolf.
The idea that you can, as a
like
private
a wolf,
individual, keep them, I think, is quite tricky. And I think if you want to, you
it don't really matter
should
to me.
Scale
like a
up
wolf.
what you're doing to the size.
But anything other than that, no.
A zoo.
However, even visiting a zoo isn't always safe, as spectators have gotten too close and personal.
Somebody
with
just
some
got
animals.
death row by alligator.
Other times, animals have found ways to escape their enclosures, wreaking havoc on anyone nearby. We did an episode.
Man, that's gonna go ahead and end that right there. What y'all saying? But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna catch y'all boys later. Jesus love y'all, and we gone.